Benny, welcome to Peachy's place. Afternoon folks, and welcome back to Peachy's place. This is going to be episode number 4 in my road safety series. Now as you can see, I'm not on the bike today, so something a little bit different, but no less important than anything else that I've covered so far. This is an old helmet of mine. There you go. It says Cyber. Don't ask me the model, and I don't know. It was, I would imagine, a fairly cheap helmet. I'm not familiar with the brand, but I've had it for a good number of years now. As you can see, it's been dropped, kicked, scratched, pieces have fallen off of it. Look at that inside. Oh, nasty. That was protecting my head, or allegedly. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to dissect this little puppy today and show you what it looks like inside. I'm kind of curious myself because it's, as I said, it's quite a few years old now. It's probably about 10 years old, that helmet, and I'm very curious to see what it looks like on the inside, to see how the foam and how the materials have degraded over the course of time being dropped and whatnot. This isn't an expensive model like an Array or a Shui or even a Shark, so I'm expecting the quality to have not withstood the test of time. So this is going to be interesting, for hopefully for you as much as it is for me. So yeah, episode number 4 on my road safety series. Stick around, stay tuned, see what happens. Okay, first of all, very important, eye protection. I'm going to be using one of these things. It's got one of these things on it, and bits of that are going to come flying off in every which direction. It's going to be hot, it's going to be sharp, and I don't want that going in my eyes. So, it also, when you cut through this stuff, the plastic melts and it stinks, so that's why I'm doing it outdoors. So please excuse the noise from everywhere else. Alright, so I don't know if the camera's seeing it. You might have noticed before, I've already started, before I started shooting the video, I wanted to see how well these little bits held up, and just to cut a small line across the top there. That's what they look like when they start out, and that is what I was left with by the time I finished cutting that line. Here's a comparison for you. This could be interesting. Probably not the intended use for these tools, but I haven't got a grinder, so I'm making do with what I've got, and it's kind of fun, power tools.
But I got to be too jumpy. Used to like to party till I coughed about the lung. Sometimes late at night I hear the beat of bumping. I reach for my holster and I wake up all alone. Used to have a wife, but she said she couldn't handle. Says she couldn't stand the way I fidget all the time. Sometimes late at night I circle around the house. I look through the windows and I dream that you're still mine. I got scars on my arms from the way my daddy raised me. I used to have a family until I got divorced. Far to turn back from these things that could save me. I used to be a cop till they kicked me off the force. Used to be a cop till they kicked me off the force. face.
And there goes another bit. That's 3 bits. Right. It's quite impressive, this, because the plastic on that, look there, although the Dremel's penetrated it, it's not actually very thick. You know what? Whatever. It's just resilient, isn't it? I really am doing my damnedest to cut this helmet in half. It's coming out. It looks like the Dremel really didn't penetrate all the way around as I'd originally thought. But it's coming. There we go. That works. I have to say, I'm impressed. Look in there. There's no signs of splits or cracks other than where I've been cutting. And even though I've been smacking the bejesus out of it with the helmet, with the hammer, can't see any cracks or splits or anything. So what have I learnt from this? Chin bar. That came apart pretty easy. In actual fact, the Dremel did most of the work, and once I took the cheek pads out and everything, the hammer finished the job off quite nicely, as you saw. So that's got to be the weak point in the helmet. That is a weak point. Just imagine if I'd have been wearing an open face and I had a crash. Smack. I mean, this is designed not to break, this is designed to protect your face. If that breaks under that kind of punishment, imagine what a crash will do to your face. Wow. Other weak points. Here, just that bit there, where you can see them pressing it in. There's a bit of movement in there, which is alright, that's what the helmet's designed to do. It doesn't want to be too firm, because if it's too firm then it will crack. The fact that it's got flex in it means that the helmet can move about on impact. Okay, onto this stuff. Got the styrene foam. You all know this stuff. Looking at it, it's actually quite solid. It doesn't seem to have degraded at all. Still very firm, and that's evidenced by the fact that, you know, it took quite a bit of doing to rip that out there. This stuff is manky and horrible. It gets all sweaty and full of muck, and over time this does degrade to the point where it's not even recognizable as the soft plush material that it was when the helmet was first built in April 2005. So 9 years? 9 years old. 9 years. This is what keeps it tight to the contours of your head and ultimately helps prevent brain damage in the event of a crash. But that's pretty crap. That's crap. Cheek pads, again, there's nothing there. There's no meat in them. They've gone completely flat. They're full of sweat and dirt and filth, and they're just horrible. You get splits in the leather there, so this is starting to wear. It's been wearing over a long time. Generally, the pads are something that I was looking at recently online when I was looking at sort of inspiration on the web, if you like, when I was planning on doing this video. One of the things that I found is that 36% of total damage caused to a helmet in the event of a crash is that bit right here. It's the chin guard. That bit. We're a full face. This one was cheap and nasty when I bought it. It was cheap and nasty 9 years later. But it's done the job. On to the next section of this video, where I want to show you a little quick product that I use to keep my visor clean. Because obviously, while you're riding, one thing that you want is good visibility. And if your visor is in a bad state, or if you're riding with your visor up because you don't like it misting up or whatever you can't see, then that causes problems in itself. So, to ride a motorcycle safely, you need to be able to see where you're going, right? That's why most visors come as the force clear. You can get pin lock visors with these little pins on the side. You can put an additional tinted screen or a coloured one in there for daytime riding, and that's going to keep the sun out of your eyes. Or you can buy these helmets these days with these nifty little flip down shades. And for that, this is one of the things I love about this helmet, is that it comes with both the pin lock and the shades, and that's kind of rare, that they don't always come with both. Often the ones that I've seen come with either or. So they're nice and clean, I've got no worries about that, I'm going to put them away. A bit of kitchen towel, you can use a soft cloth preferably, but most of mine are pretty harsh and full of oil at the moment, so I need some new rags. But a bit of kitchen towel will do you. Wet it, get it nice and I want to give the visor a good clean and make sure that there's no grease or grit or dirt or anything like that on the visor. And bugs. Bugs are the bane of my life. I hate them. Go around the outside and inside the visor, getting it nice and soapy, getting all that grease off. Any bugs, any bits of dirt. This is why soft cloths are better, because you don't want to scratch a lid. Things like this tend to collect bits of dust and debris. If there's anything on there, you're only going to put scratches into your helmet, or into your visor. So you obviously don't want to do that, but this is all I've got for the time being. And you use what you have. When it's cold or a little bit wet or humid, even with the visor, with the vents open, fully open, usually you get one big vent at the top or smaller ones on the sides. But that's not going to help you. It's not going to stop your visor from fogging up. Now the idea of the pin lock is that the way that they're designed, it leaves a layer of air in between the outer visor and the inner pin lock screen. right, which helps prevent fogging up. That being said, it's still a very common problem, and as you can see, I've not got the inner screen on mine. Right, I don't have it. It comes ready for one, but I've not bought one because I use the shades. So how do I stop mine from fogging up? Right, Oxford, well-known brand for bike bits, for particularly luggage and panniers and tank bags and things like that. And this is the Oxford Helmet Care Kit Anti-Fog Spray. Comes in little tiny little 50ml bottles like that. It cost me £7 here, probably be half of that in the UK. And the directions are as follows. Shake well before use. Okay. Spray onto a clean cloth. That'll do. Apply evenly to the inside of your visor and leave to dry. Repeat regularly for best results. So just wipe that onto the inside of my visor, not the outside, the inside. It's not going to do you any good on the outside of your visor, is it? Okay, that's it. Leave to dry. Even though this cheaper model, low quality 9-year-old helmet is seemingly indestructible, I'd still recommend replacing the helmet as often as the manufacturer says you should. It may very well be a ploy to make the helmet companies more money. Personally, I've only got one of these and I want to keep it on my shoulders where it belongs, and in one piece. So, from me at Peachy's place, ride safe. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.